Hey everyone, today we're looking at Sausage Party, or as I like to call it, don't see it. Unless the idea of talking, cursing food makes you laugh endlessly, or if you're a diehard Seth Rogen fan, don't see it. To give you an impression of where I stand on this movie, I saw This Is the End and Pineapple Express, and those are some of Seth Rogen's most successful movies. I enjoyed them quite a bit. I'm not immune to any cheap laughs. But when the entire movie is comprised of them, it's kinda hard to get behind it. Even at that, I saw this movie for free, courtesy of the Adam app, not a sponsor by the way, and it still felt like a waste of time. Had I not been there with a group of friends, I probably would have walked out of the theater, to be completely honest. I'm feeling a very low 2 out of 5 weenie dogs. Honestly, it's just not super great, which is a shame because the cast, the voice actors, they all do their part very well. The animation actually looks pretty impressive, but everything else just falls apart. We'll start off with what the movie does right. The premise is sort of interesting, at least for the first 30 minutes. The idea that food sees people as gods and that we're taking them to a better place, or as they call it, the great beyond, is a kind of funny twist on what we do today with religions and theologies, although a very obvious one, and it's beaten to death in the movie. But still, the idea of it is interesting enough. It would have made for a good short film, maybe not a feature-length one, but you see where I'm going. Lastly, the voice actors do well, but that's to be expected. Most of them are A-listers in Hollywood, Selma Hayek, Seth Rogen obviously, and surprisingly Edward Norton. I didn't catch his voice until I saw the credits, which was a bit strange, but really no complaints here. They all deliver very well. And I'm glad I could praise this movie for that, but really, that's kind of where it stops. As I stated previously, the worst part about this movie is the humor. Really, it just relies too heavily on itself that, oh, they're foods, they're saying shit and fuck. Isn't that funny? I can honestly say that I didn't laugh once. I remember vaguely smiling at one joke a hot dog said, but really, I'm not being too harsh with this movie. I don't speak for everyone when I say it wasn't funny, because there were some people laughing in the theater, but it's not like my expectations were very high. I went in expecting a Seth Rogen comedy, and I got something even worse. It's not like I was hoping for some sort of witty satire, or something maybe worthwhile. My mind was off, and it turned back on as soon as I saw how shitty it was. Lastly, it tried too hard to get a reaction out of the audience and to be edgy. To be honest, it did succeed in that aspect. A lot of people were definitely oohing, ahhing, and what the fucking, but if you're used to seeing things like cursing and sex in animated media, this definitely won't do anything for you. For me, the aspect that someone had to animate this for an extensive amount of time for such a large audience is really what got me. But as I said before, I've seen plenty of things like that, so it wasn't as shocking. It was surprising, don't get me wrong, but after the initial moment that you see it, it's just like, well, I've seen this on an anime, I've seen this on Rick and Morty, I've seen this on anything Adult Swim airs. There's one moment in particular that made me cringe, where the fourth wall is broken for no reason other than, hey, this is cool, right? This is witty, we're clever. And you literally see a picture of Seth Rogen. For what fucking purpose? As ridiculous as it sounds, I feel like the last 15 minutes could have redeemed the entire movie had it not been for that fourth wall break. Really, it just felt like a slap in the face, having seen the entire movie, having a little bit of joy near the end, and then taking it away with this really shitty gimmick. If you saw this movie or are planning to see it, tell me what you think of it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll talk to you guys later. Spoilers ahead.
You can't write good jokes?
Hey, why don't you suck my mother? Hannibal, wake up!
It's not good.
Idiot.
Those jokes are bad jokes.
You bitch.
I had nothing to say.
So, Sausage Party, everyone. It's so great. I've never seen a cartoon be bad. really, that's what this movie felt like is, oh, I was expecting something for kids, but they said bad words. I can't wait to see what the rest of it is like. And it's just an extension of that. Food saying bad words as a cartoon. Whoa, that's mind-bending, bro. I've never heard of anything like that. Except for everything like that exists already. Like I said, that's where most of the humor is drawn, and it feels kind of too gimmicky. After a while, the jokes just aren't funny because it's basically the same joke reiterated to you, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. The 50th time, it's not as funny, which is a shame because I've yet to see that kind of pattern occur in other Seth Rogen movies. I'm not a super huge fan of him or anything, but you gotta say, whenever he makes a good movie, it's a good movie. So I was kind of hoping that this would be that my non-existent expectations would lead me to joy and victory, that I didn't waste my time, that maybe I should stop watching many comedy movies like that, because I feel like it's usually a 50-50 chance of being let down and angry by the end of it, or actually enjoying it. That's a chance you gotta take when you watch movies, and I wasn't really planning to do a review of it until I saw it, and I saw how bad it was, that hopefully I can attempt to dissuade everyone from watching it, if possible. This thing made $33 million opening weekend, on a budget of 18, so it's very much recouped its losses, and that's just domestic. So this thing is gonna go on to make a lot of money, competing with Suicide Squad, which, well, it's sort of competing. It's not exactly meant to be a competitor, because Suicide Squad is PG-13, it's a hero movie, it's not really a comedy, but they're both either taking away or giving each other monies, depending on who's seeing it. Whether or not someone says, hey, let's drop our kids off at Suicide Squad to see Sausage Party, or hey, let's take our kids to see it, and make them wish they hadn't. But if you saw this movie and you enjoyed it, then I'm genuinely gonna say you're welcome. Props to you, because I just couldn't in my right mind feel any sort of good feelings while watching it. It just made me feel like an idiot. I'm glad I saw it with friends and that they enjoyed it, although the ending may have unprogrammed everything they saw before then. Some of them seemed a little bit disturbed by what they'd seen. It was basically a giant food orgy. There was gay bread and strap-ons, multiple penetrations. It was interesting, to say the least. I'm not gonna say that I didn't suspect it, because the entire time they were building up to it, not exactly that scene, but I did expect to see some sexual innuendos, Frank going into the bun in a very pseudo-erotic way. And we got more than that. I got more than what I anticipated, but the entire time they're like, oh, we can't even touch each other because the gods will punish us. That's a minor issue in the film, is that a bread and a hot dog touch fingertips, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, the gods are cursing us. We shouldn't have touched each other. But of course, whenever you're proven to be wrong, that all of that anticipation and stuff was for nothing, you're gonna go fucking bananas. You're gonna fucking fist each other in the mouth with your legs. And it makes sense. Although I can't justify how intense it got. That was arguably the best part of the movie, in my opinion. Not to be like a pervert or anything, but all of the schlock before then was definitely made up, and then it was broken again by the fucking Seth Rogen cameo. For what reason? That after the orgy, they're interrupted and they're like, hey, you're not gonna believe this. We're cartoons. Like, fuck you. Really. It's not necessary to undo everything you just did for the sake of a shitty fourth wall break. It really wasn't helpful at all. It didn't add anything to the plot. And I would have overlooked it had it not been so fucking stupid that they're legit just dropping the actors' names. Oh, it's Seth Rogen and Edward Norton and fucking whoever else they announced, because I facepalmed when I saw that. It was cringy. And I'm sad that they couldn't have at least done that before the orgy, so I would have felt a little bit less salty about it. But like I said before, if you could enjoy this movie for what it was, I'm not shaming you. I'm legit happy that you could feel anything other than disappointment. But if you're gonna see it for free, I guess go ahead and do it like I did, but don't be surprised when you feel like someone's poured DW40 down your ear canals. 'Cause I warned you. If this doesn't dissuade you and you come back mad, don't tell me I didn't warn you. Anyways, guys, I think we're gonna call it quits for now. Really not much else worth talking about other than the stupid premise and stuff that I overlooked for the sake of the review, because it's not fair to judge a comedy movie based on its story per se. I wasn't being too harsh and I was still disappointed. Thanks for watching, guys. If you do see the movie or anything, be sure to tell me in the comments below. I always like to read through and respond to people. But yeah, see you later. Thanks for tuning in. And Will Smith's Deadshot, I personally think they set the bar for the rest of the cast, and most of the cast does meet those expectations, with the exception of Margot Robbie and Jared Leto as, Joker, and Harley Quinn